Hey, what's up, my Dragon Legion? How y'all been? So there, Dragoons. Today, we're going to be doing yet another special deck profile video. And this deck profile video is going to be an update of my Narukami the Blood deck profile. Now, it has gone through a little bit of changes every now and then. I have been test playing it every so often, and the deck still looks really good. It still holds the amount of potential as it always has ever since it first became a thing. And I always do enjoy having fun with this deck right here. The deck is still lots of fun to play with, and it can still go toe to toe with some of the bigger decks that are big right now at the moment. And with that being said, let's go right straight to the deck profile right now, shall we, Dragoons? Start off with the start of Vanguard, the Spark Kid Draco. Spark Kid Dragoon. Use the ability to count best one, put in your soul, and then potentially get either your Kaiser Vermilion or Kaiser Vermilion the Blood from your deck to your hand, so you can later on do some further stuff from there. I like a good such. There we go. Next for the trigger lineup. The usual 4 heals, no explanation why this is good. And for the rest of the trigger lineup, whenever I play the Blood Narukamis, I normally do the 8 critical and 4 draw lineup, and this is what I'm currently doing right now at the moment. I'm doing the 8 critical, and I'm doing the 4 draw lineup. Now this lineup right here is very important to me, because when I do this lineup right here, I really want to get in that much amount of damage as I possibly want and possibly could, so I can swing into my opponent as I possibly can and get as much damage on my opponent as I possibly can, while still having at least some draw potential and some defense every now and then. Now this good. Now keep in mind, your only good Vanguard with with Narukamis outside of the Eradicators is normally Kaiser Vermilion and Kaiser Vermilion the Blood. So you really need to get in that attack as fast as you possibly can and get in that damage to your opponent as fast as you possibly can. Cause the longer you don't get your criticals and such, and the longer you don't get your damage in, the more likely you'll lose. So you gotta speed things up a little bit, and you gotta go in there, go for that game, go for that one attack that can go for game. Take out all those rearguards as you possibly can, and just strike down your opponent when your opponent least expects it. So that right there is the trigger lineup. For the grade 1 lineup, still playing the 4 Red River Dragoons. This guy is very good. You do need a very good rearguard booster for either your Vanguard or one of your good rearguards, so your big guy can have an easier chance of getting that attack as fast as he possibly can. All that good such. So Red River Dragoon is definitely good. I wouldn't bother playing with him if you're going to be playing Eradicators, but if you're playing straight up Narukamis without the Eradicators and without the upcoming Brawlers, then cut this guy out. But other than that, if you're playing regular Narukamis, he'll still be good. And next we have the 4 Perfect Guards, because it's your Perfect Guard. Can't argue with this. I play 3 Photon Wyvern Bombers because I do want to see him whenever I do want to see him, and he is a very good booster for your Kaiser Vermilion. Your Kaiser Vermilion will be at 20. Your regular Kaiser Vermilion will be at 2300 when he's being boosted by this guy. While your Kaiser Vermilion in the Blood, as long as you have regular Kaiser Vermilion in the Soul, he'll be at 2800 while swinging attack. You really want your Kaiser Vermilion to be at the strongest he can possibly be, so you can go for that game as fast as you possibly can, getting that amount of damage as fast as you possibly can, and just make your guy a little bit harder to guard off, or make your opponent waste some huge amount of resources. Just stop that attack. And next for the draw power guys, to finish off the grade 1 lineup, I play 2 Lightning of Helen and 2 Rising Phoenixes. Now this is very important because keep in mind, I only play only 4 draw trigger cards, so it's very important I play this card right here. Rising Phoenix is definitely good because I do absolutely nothing with my soul, so it's pretty much a free draw by just dropping him, which is always pretty good. And this guy's pretty good right here because every time a Narukami unit lands attack with him boosting unit, I can pitch a card that I don't need, draw a card. So if I have an extra Kaiser Vermilion or Kaiser Vermilion Blood that I don't need, or an extra grade 2 unit in particular that I don't need, I can just pitch that card, draw a card, so I can get to my other good stuff a lot faster and be able to get into my bigger stuff a lot faster before my opponent can do anything to me. And that right there was the grade 1 lineup. It's nothing really too complicated. It's pretty much as you see right there. Nothing that's really too complicated to understand. Pretty simple stuff right there. And that right there was the grade 1 lineup. For the grade 2 lineup, I played 3 max copies of Thunderstorm Dragoons. Yeah, this guy I really like and all, but Dusty Plasma Dragon is definitely a better choice card to play, because your ideal Vanguard is always going to be either Kaiser Vermilion or Kaiser Vermilion the Blood, and Dusty Plasma Dragon does gain 3,000 while he attacks, while your Vanguard is one or the other. So when I pick up Dusty Plasma Dragon, I'll either take these guys out of my deck, or I'll end up playing only 3 of these guys and still play the max Dusty Plasma Dragons and all that good such, so I can still retain field presence with having really good rear guards to support my Vanguard, so I can launch in with some big attacks and deal some more damage to my opponent. Next, I play 3 copies of Demonic Dragon Berserker Gardener. This guy is very good because you are going to be counterblasting a lot with both your deck scheme, your Dragonic deck scheme, and your Kaiser Vermilions. So you do want something that'll help you get your cards face up as fast as possible can, so you can be more likely to do your limit breaks, be more likely to do your counter blasts and all that good such. So you can still have some power and do some crazy shenanigans to get your opponent, and still be able to do what Narukami's do best when it comes to Narukami the Blood. And to finish all the entire deck profile of the grade 2 lineup, I play 3 copies of Dragonic Death Scheme. He's pretty much the Berserk Dragon of the deck right here. Counterblast 2 cards, ride or call him, and as long as my Vanguard is Narukami, and I can kill one of my opponent's grade 2 or below rear guards, which is always pretty good. Get rid of that annoying rear guard booster that's annoying you. Get rid of that one grade 2 or lower card that's also annoying you, like a Silent Tom, whatever such, so you can have less cards to worry about and you can be more likely focused. Get back more focus on doing what you do best with this deck right here, which is, of course, deal more damage to your opponent. So 3 death schemes is very necessary. And that is it for the grade 2 lineup. For the grade 3 lineup, we play 4 copies of Dragonic Kaiser Vermilion and 4 copies of Dragonic Kaiser Familiar the Blood. Now this guy is like very important when you play. Now this guy is like really good right here. One or the other is definitely your idea of Vanguard when you play this deck right here. Regular Kaiser Pardon me, I can't talk today. There we go. Now regular Kaiser Vermilion has the ability that says Limit Break 4, Counterblast 3 cards. He's allowed to attack your entire front row while gaining 2,000 power while he does so until the end of the turn right here. And if you have a non-Narukami Vanguard rear guard, this unit gets minus 2,000 power. Now this is really good right here because now even if you don't get this guy or don't ride this guy on top of him, whatever such, it's not the end of the world. As long as you got regular Kaiser Vermilion as your Vanguard, you can actually shockingly still do pretty good against your opponent. Now with the ability to swing at your entire opponent's front row and taking care of your opponent's rear guards while still potentially doing some damage to your opponent's Vanguard or all that crazy stuff, it's very powerful, really strong, helps you get into some stuff really good very fastly. Now it is very costly, but that's what the ability costs are in for, while the heal triggers are for. Because you can get to heal triggers and ability costly, no, not ability costly, I apologize. The Berserker Dragon, yeah, when you get the Berserker Dragon going too so well, you'll be able to do your counter blasts and limit breaks more easier, so you can land your attacks in a lot easier, a lot faster. So even if you don't get your Kaiser Vermilion the Blood in or whatever such, or you don't go get regular Kaiser Vermilion in the soul of your Kaiser Vermilion the Blood, it's not the end of the world. You still got Kaiser Vermilion doing some stuff, which is always good. It's good, and even if Kaiser Vermilion the Blood ends up becoming your Vanguard, and you never ride into him, whatever, it's still not the end of the world. You still got amazing Vanguard doing some stuff right here. But when you do got him going on, you get some huge power presence and some huge possibilities against your opponent, which is so ridiculously good right here. Now, Kaiser Vermilion the Blood, Dragonic Kaiser Vermilion the Blood, for those who do not know, he has Limit Break 5, meaning that you can't use the effect unless you have 5 cards in your damage, which is pretty gruesome. Now, Limit Break 5, Counterblast 3 cards. During the turn you activate this effect, you may, just like regular Kaiser Vermilion, he's allowed to swing at your opponent's entire front row. But instead of 2,000 power, he'll gain 5,000 power instead, while also gaining 1 free critical. And also he has, when you have Kaiser Vermilion in the soul of your Vanguard, this guy, he gains an additional 3,000 power. Now this is very powerful because when you get this effect going off, when you get him boosted with Photon Wyvern Bomber, his power becomes 2,800 with 2 critical plus, depending on where you get a drive check, swinging at your opponent's front row. Now this is also good because while you're attacking your opponent's front row, they won't be allowed to intercept because all those cards are also being attacked, and you're not allowed to intercept with cards that are being attacked. So if they have any special intercept guys, those special intercepts become entirely useless, and you just swing in with a big huge Vanguard guard that will just either do some huge heavy damage while giving you your rear guards or more additional power depending on when you get your drive checks, and just take over the game very, very fast, and just be very explosive and give your opponent a big huge shock that they will never expect, no pun intended, and you just take over the game very fast right there. So with that being said, that right there was my Narukami, the Blood deck profile. Like I said, it has gone through a couple of changes since the last time I've done deck profile of this deck right here. I am still working on the Eradicators. I just got back from a recent Yu-Gi-Oh! Regional, and I was able to pick up a couple cards in particular, and I do got a good plan of how I'm gonna get my Eradicators together finally. So I'm gonna be parting off with some very important Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards and a Vanguard deck or two, so I can do so. But when I is said and done already, I'll finally have the money to put together, so I can finally put together a Narukami Eradicator deck profile for you Dragoons check out. And wish me the best of luck, because I really want to get the Eradicators going. I really love how the Eradicators are right now at the moment. They look cool, they look fantastic, and they got a lot of similar playstyles that are kind of similar to old school Kageros if you really think about it, which I always do appreciate and like. And with that being said, let me know what you Dragoons think about this deck profile in the comment section down below, and I'll see you Dragoons around. Hope you Dragoons enjoy this video. Leave a like and a favorite if you did, and hit subscribe today to become part of the Dragon Legion Alliance. And I'll see you Dragoons another day. Christian Dragoon, signing out. Peace.